Hello guys, welcome back to another quick how-to guide. Today I'll be guiding you, says it in the what this series is, on how to clean your washing machine. So it first of all depends on how you use your machine and how often. If you always use or like to use quick 30-degree cycles, like the one I had running today, which isn't often, I was just refreshing a pair of trousers, then you'll want to run a cleaning cycle about every once a month. But if you like to use, cotton cycles at 40 degrees and you run 1 or 2 hot washes a week, you get away with doing it once every 3 or 4 months. But if you like to wash a lot of things hot, so whites, towels, sheets, things like that, and you don't often touch the quick cycles, you get away with once every 6 months. Or if you use your machine properly, so always use cottons and always use the correct temperatures with proper load sizes, so you're using your machine 2-3 times a week, then you could get away with maybe just once a year. But if you do that, it would have to be a deep clean. So that's sort of a guide, because it also depends on, obviously with the other ones I stated, if you're doing a quick cycle but you're doing a wash almost every day, definitely once a month, because you'll see build up of like dirt and grime to start build up quickly, obviously. And then with the 40-degree cycles and a couple hot washes, you will see less build up, but it will still be there. And then obviously, so it just all depends on how much you use it and how you use it. So now I am just going to quickly show you, if your machine has its own cleaning cycle, use that. But what I am going to say is, a lot of cleaning cycles, well, not all of them actually, some cleaning cycles do like a pre-rinse, pre-wash type of thing. If that is the case, what you want to do after it's done that first initial phase, the first initial rinse, pause the machine and then check your chemicals in. Because otherwise they'll be used up too soon. But things like Bosch, it doesn't really matter. You just chuck it in the drum or the drawer, and then pop your uncle. So, what chemicals to use for what? Use dishwasher tablets to get rid of grime. Just general dirt. Use bleach. Well, first of all, if you have mold on your door seal, like this one, this isn't actually mold, it's literally just stain. I promise you, I have bleached the fuck out of this seal many a times. It's because it was in storage for a while. Then wipe the seal down with bleach so it's kept in good condition, like this one. And then chuck a little bit in as well for the cleaning cycle, just to help with all of that. And I'd still use a bit like a dishwasher tablet, for example, as well. And then to get rid of lime scale buildup, and just anything scaly, so there's no actual dirt but your machine like need to clean, use citric acid. Now, if you clean your machine often, like I do, one quick hot cycle will do. Because another thing I suggest, if your machine doesn't have its own cleaning cycle, is use cottons at 90 degrees, or anything above 60. So, for example, 70, because the cleaning cycle is 70. Or maybe even if your machine is a bit temperamental, on a 90 or a 95, and it tends to overheat, because that can be a case, then just stick to the lowest heat below 90. So for example, on this one, after 95 it's 80, but then on the newer hot points after this range it would be 70, and the same for a lot of machines now. They tend to skip 80 and do 20, 30, 40, 50 sometimes, 60, 70, and 90. So there you go. So yeah, if you also, that's the other thing, if you clean your machine often, just a quick cycle hot will do. So for example, if you do have a quick cycle that will go up to 90, use that, that's fine. With just like a tiny bit of bleach or one dishwasher tablet. But then obviously, in between all of that, I'd say once every 6 months, do a long 90 with about 250 grams of citric acid just to descale your machine. But obviously, because I keep my machines very clean all the time, you can see it's all shiny, every drum. But I still do descale them occasionally. Well, that one is getting a bit of a build-up, actually. I might do that soon. And the same with that one. So, and then the other things you got to do, just basic maintenance, is, for example, because this has just finished, after a cycle, leave your door ajar like this so the machine can air. This will prevent mold build-up as quick as it would if it was, I can't speak, as if the door was closed. And then also, after every cycle, I'd wipe the seal down, just so that there's no residual water sitting. Another thing I would suggest doing is just leaving the drawer open, just maybe a tiny bit like that. That keeps everything to dry out so that gunk doesn't build up, especially in the softener compartment. Another thing I would say, every 3 to 6 months, empty your pump filter. So what you need to do for that on a lot of machines, unless you've got a machine like this where the pump isn't at the front, it's situated at the back, so that's just for decoration. Remove your whole plinth, because sometimes the pump is situated behind something like that, so you've not got its own separate door. Or remove the door, because you can unclip this, look. First of all, if your machine has an emergency drain hose, use that just to get rid of any water, easier than just opening up straight away. Because then when you open this, there'll be less water than before, and that's where all your gunk and things and coins, hairbands or whatever will end up. Because you want to keep on top of that, actually, because you don't want something like a multiple hairbands or like a hair tie or even like a screw or something to go in there with the other stuff and damage the pump or stop you from opening it entirely. So the next thing I'll move on to is the drawer. Now, normally to take these out, hold down the middle blue bit, just so, release the clip, and then obviously to push it back in, just do that. Or on some machines, depending on your drawer design, you'll have some sort of indicator here to push down and then take the drawer out, because obviously the softener bit here is at the front, so you can't push anything of that down. Another thing I will say, I'll take this one fully out, it's easier. Obviously keep this clean. This is pretty easy to clean. You could probably clean this more than the machine, you know, if your drum doesn't need it or whatever, if you use hot cycles. But gunk does build up in here, even with leaving it open all the time. Like, it's not perfect, but obviously the seal can be maintained by also wiping it down as well as leaving the door open. These things help. You know, because obviously over time, softener will leave residue behind. Let's check this one. Actually, it's not too bad, actually. I will give all my machines another clean soon, because I know that this one, yeah, it's starting to get, I mean, it's still pretty good. Somebody who's part of general public wouldn't think that's bad, but there you go. So yeah, you see that one's nice and clean, actually, otherwise. But the other thing is, please do the inside. Well, okay, I need to do the inside of this one actually. If you look, do the inside as well. People just do the actual drawer and forget about the inside. Please do the inside. If you do this often, just wipe this down, bit of vinegar, hot cloth, or washing up liquid or bleach or a cleaner or anything, and just wipe in there, and then get like a cleaning toothbrush and wipe the, or like brush the top here where the water comes in. Okay, this is basic maintenance, all right? You don't want to be washing your clothes in a dirty machine. So yeah, there you go. That's how to clean and maintain your washing machine.